actually are looking at operational excellence in a holistic way, looking across multiple functions, right from the area of innovation to production, to being responsible through sustainable operations, and also through efficient asset management. So when you look at these four different functions of operational excellence, companies need to look at different KPIs within each of these different areas. The quest for operational excellence involves looking at four different pillars. We call them the four pillars of operational excellence. One is to be proactive through innovation. The second one is to be more efficient through production and distribution. The third is to be more reliable through better asset management. And fourth is to be responsible through sustainable practices. When you look at these four different areas, all these areas have different KPIs. But what I encourage our customers to do is look at this holistically. Look at all these areas and look at all the KPIs and manage them to achieve operational excellence across the enterprise. Operations, or the COO's role, is the nerve center of any company. So everything that touches the company through customers, through suppliers, through manufacturing facilities, through distribution, through logistics, all of these areas touch a COO. And being the nerve center of a company, it is very critical for the COO to look at all these different functions and to make sure that they work efficiently and drive operational excellence through better customer service, through reduction in inventory, through driving down procurement costs, through making sure your assets are well utilized, and also making sure that you're a sustainable operator through reduced incidents, reduced energy consumption, and reduced pollution. I think supply chain operations, the production operations were always seen as cost centers. So you essentially had to manage your assets. You had to make sure these assets were fully utilized. And at the same time, you also looked at the cost of capital through basically reducing inventory and making sure you had a high number of inventory turns. And along the way in terms of raw materials, finished goods, or work in process. But what's happened over the years is that companies have now started looking at the COO's function as way beyond just cost containment. So it's gone to the realms of distribution and sales and marketing, where supply chain practices or operations practices are actually driving revenue growth. And in some extreme cases, I've seen companies that have evolved from becoming supply chain centers to becoming independent entities driving P&L within a company. To give you an example, we're working with a fairly large conglomerate in Thailand, and they started off managing distribution operations for their own internal companies. And they realized over a period of time that one, they had gained significant know-how of their distribution operations, and two, they also had the technology that could scale and support external customers. So he actually set up a company to run distribution logistics for a wide variety of customers across this country. And they have now become one of the fastest growing entities within that conglomerate, and it's driving significant growth for the parent company. Traditionally, when you looked at the role of the COO and technology, he was always seen to look at supply chain solutions, maybe procurement solutions, maybe manufacturing solutions. But what's happened now is the COO is taking an increasing role in IT, especially in enterprise applications across the company. So the COO is typically the business owner for enterprise applications within many companies. And what is happening also now with three factors. One is explosion of data across the company, and not just structured data, but also unstructured data that's coming in through social media and other formats, structured and unstructured data. The second is the devices that are connecting to the company, both from within as well as from outside, through suppliers, through development partners, through manufacturing partners, etc. The third thing is that consumer behavior is changing dynamically. We're getting more and more consumers who are socially aware, who want to shop online, and who are also looking at things at a very short term. They're not buying things that would last them for many years. They're buying things that they would use maybe for 6 months or less. So very fickle behavior, and not so much in terms of brand loyalty. So when you look at these different behaviors in terms of data explosion, kinds of devices that are connecting, and consumers who have very short attention spans, you have to make sure that you leverage technology to the fullest to capture the information that is flowing through, and also capture the customers that are going to be touching your company. It's about improving the efficiency of operations in supply chain through manufacturing, procurement, and distribution.